Welcome to A Quest for Metal. Today we are doing another ranking video, and today we're doing the mighty Esoteric, one of my favourite bands of all time. And you'd think it'd be easy to do this. One of my favourite bands. I can talk about them for hours and hours. The reality is, quite the opposite. It's Funeral Doom. I love all these fucking albums. It's really hard to talk about. It's really hard to pick one over the other, so this is a ridiculous ranking. Probably, you know what? I'm going to say this is the hardest ranking I've ever done. At least with Evoken and some other bands like that, I can hear a lot of differences. With these albums, they're pretty much all fucking fantastic. So this is ridiculous, but we're going to goddamn do it. So, before I get started with my list, let me know down below what's your favourite Esoteric album, what's your least favourite, do you know them, do you like them, let me know, and let's get stuck in. So, my last place album, which is still fucking fantastic, is Metamorphogenesis, which is a mouthful, and a lot of the album titles are also mouthfuls. This one is the shortest album, which maybe it's why it's last on the list. It's one of the earlier albums they've done. The production is a lot better than the debut. Production is a lot better, but I just don't think the songs quite hold up to the songs on the debut or any of the other albums, which is why it's coming a bit lower down. There's only 3 songs in it. It has a very creepy atmosphere on this album. The final song especially, kind of feeling like you're slowly going insane, seeing colours in this kind of transcendental state. It's insane. A lot of the albums are like that, but on that song especially, it does feel like you're slowly going insane. Love all 3 songs on this album. It's about 45 minutes in length, which is very short for, Funeral Doom albums, so that's probably my main complaint with it. It's a bit too short. So, nitpicking, I gotta put something last. It's gonna be this one. It's a bit too short. There is another album which is about the same length, maybe about 10 minutes, 10 minutes longer, but that one is just, the production so much better, and the growling so much better, so we'll get to that eventually. I won't spoil where it is on the list just yet, but for this one, production is better than the first one, but it gets way better as time goes on. I think the songs do progress as time goes on. So this one is just okay. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, but it's not my favourite. So it's coming here. So talking about the debut, lots. That is my next one, which is a classic. It basically helped create Funeral Doom as we know it. This is one of the albums, like a seminal album, that kind of helped it, along with Ferragothen's Stream from the Heavens. Esoteric was one of the very fucking first, and one of the best. And this album is close to a masterpiece. The only problem with it is the production is a bit murky on this one. It's not quite as punchy and powerful as some of the albums to come, like even the one I just mentioned, but the songs are better. The album's longer, the songs are better. It's more evil, just more depressing, atmospheric album than Metamorphogenesis, in my opinion. So it's going higher. I haven't even said the album title because I cannot pronounce it. It's Epistemological Despondency. Yeah, fucking what? And the album cover's a trip fest, and so's the goddamn music held within. This album kind of sounds, on some of the songs anyway, kind of stonery, kind of like Sleep. On some of them, if you listen to some of the songs, kind of with this vibe. But yeah, love the album to pieces. It's a great goddamn album, but they just get better. So that's coming here. Next up, again, I'm gonna have to read it out. Subconscious Dissolution into the Continuum. Yes, they like to make stupid album titles, just like Inquisition. This is amazing. From here on out, those two I could easily kind of put last. Not easily, I still love them, but you know what I mean, I can put them last. The rest, holy shit, this was stupidly hard. And this one's a flawless album. I'd give this a 10. I give it a fucking 10. I love it. The production is fucking amazing. The growls, so much more improved. The growls are improved. The production is amazing. The songs are just punchier on this album. This is the shorter album, as I was mentioning before, but it just kicks the shit out of Metamorphogenesis, in my opinion. There's only like 4 songs on it. One of them's quite short, but I don't know, they kick so much ass, these songs. So if you want kind of a more digestible Esoteric album, I'd start with this one. I'd start with this one because it's just like Metamorphogenesis, just as good, but everything's cranked up to 11. Vocals better, production's better, songs, in my opinion, better. Next up is Paragon of Dissonance. Another step up. This is fucking flawless as well. I mean, the opening fucking song, Abandonment, with that riff, a ding dum 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 dum, chuggy as all hell, and that's rare for Funeral Doom, and that is chuggy and catchy as hell. A great way to start off the album. Love the creepy piano in Loss of Will as well. Kind of sounded like some depressing ballroom waltz. That's fantastic. It's 90 minutes long. It's got the length. It's just as good as the previous album we mentioned, which I've forgotten the name of. Just as fucking good, just as crisp. The growl's just as good, but it's way longer when you get more of it, so yeah, it's coming a bit higher. These two are pretty much love on the same level, so it's hard to pick one or the other. I'll pick this one because it's longer. That's like the fucking only reason, really. Abandonment is like a top 10 Esoteric song, so yeah, fuck it. Paragon of Dissonance is beautiful. It's coming here. Next up is A Pyrrhic Existence, the latest album, and this was in my top of albums of the year. I think it was number 2 of the year back in 2019 or whenever it came out. I saw the art and the people's faces coming off and I was like, this is going to be good. This is going to be fucking amazing. A spoiler alert, it fucking was. Starting off with like a half an hour song, you know it's going to be good. Again, long. Starting off with a half an hour song. What a great way to kick off an album. It's a trip and a half. There are some weird bits in it. There are some bits which are a bit strange on this album compared to some of the others, but then it picks right back up and you're back into like the hellish landscape like you know and love. Flawless album. Again, 10 out of 10. Pretty much one of my favourite bands now. I mean, I fucking love them. Number 2 now. The most famous one, The Pernicious Enigma. This was the hardest album to get into. All the others were pretty easy. I know Funeral Doom's not quite easy, but they're all fairly easy to get into. This was fucking ridiculous to get into. This is the most dense. This is the longest. This is just the most technical, most insane. It feels very spacey. This is a spacey album. And you do kind of have that kind of, those beeps and those weird noises within the songs, but the more you listen, the more it seeps into you. And I've listened to this album so many times because I was trying to just get it. And eventually it clicked. This was my last album. This was my least favourite, for a long time. I didn't understand why it was the most popular one. Now I do. It's fucking fantastic. Maybe it'll rise higher, but my number 1's always been set in stone. I think it always will, but this album is fucking majestic. This album's awesome, but that leaves only one number 1. And anyone on the Discord knows exactly what it is because it's my profile picture. The Maniacal Veil. The one with the swirly demons and the vortex in. And this album feels like you're jumping into that fucking vortex. Also, I did a previous video about albums I'd have on a desert island. I picked this one. So you kind of could guess it was going to be my number 1, but fuck it. For people who didn't watch that, it's my number 1. It does everything I love from Esoteric in this one package, and starting off with Circle, which is again like a really long, like fucking half an hour song, is just such a great goddamn song. That's easily my favourite. Easily my favourite Esoteric song. What a way to kick off an album. All that build up, and then it just hits you with the heaviness in the middle. I love when songs do that, and they do that a lot on this album. Just as interesting as any of the other albums, just as dense, just as thick. Fills you with dread, depression, anxiety. You're dropped head first into this fucking vortex and you can't get out, and you goddamn love it. The Maniacal Veil is easily my number 1 Esoteric album of all time. So, what did you guys think? Do you even know any of these albums? If not, go check them out. Love all these albums. Go check any of them out, actually. Just put it in as a little roulette wheel and spin it. Whatever it lands on, check it out. It's probably fucking fantastic. So, that's been my list for Esoteric. Hopefully you guys had a good time. Let me know your favourites down below, and we'll see you again on another Quest for Metal.